come in search of? Validation? Opportunity? Maybe business unfinished?
I know how hard it is to get here. I'm well aware it's going to be twice as hard to get back to this point next year than it was this year.
Well, you're back. And in some cases, for the umpteenth time, KC looking for a 7th straight championship Sunday against a team that's never seen one. Mahomes' legend, one win from level footing with football deity. Others may pray for favor on 4th. The Dans, always apt to push chips to the middle. The overwhelming favorite versus the long shot phenom. But what has this game taught us, if anything? Victory belongs to the willing.
God! We'll see you in Detroit!
LA and Philly have both felt it. But past result does not imply future outcome. Hope enough for LA that this time, records remain intact.
Touchdown! Saquon Barkley!
Yet hope is no strategy, and David ain't walking through that door. Sunday night on CBS, 2 Goliaths, both deserving of accolade and the opportunity to prove it again. But that's not how this thing works. And what lies within will determine if the dream lives on or 9 months of nightmare. You're one step closer. Don't stop now.
Joe Musso, I'm hyped. If that doesn't get you going, check your pulse. Down to the Elite 8 in the playoffs. The 2-time defending champs begin their quest to become the first team to three-peat. The upset-minded Commanders looking to knock off the top seed in the NFC on Saturday night. Read a book on the sideline or read your playbook. Eagles and Rams get the day started on Sunday, followed by the game of the weekend. Lamar and the Ravens visiting Josh Allen, the Bills on CBS. Welcome in 2-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden here to deliver his divisional round bold statements. First game of the weekend takes us to the home of the 2-time defending Super Bowl champions. Chiefs have won 7 straight playoff games, just beat the Texans in Week 16. B-Mac, how bold are you? Like Houston upsets Kansas City kind of bold?
No, I'm not going that bold, but I am going pretty bold, Hakeem. My bold statement for that game is Xavier Worthy will have at least 200 yards receiving, right? When you look at Xavier Worthy, when they drafted him, the fastest man at the combine, we all assumed he would be like the Tyreek Hill for their offense, getting behind coverages, game in and game out. We haven't really seen that, right? You look at his longest reception to date, throughout his rookie campaign, this was 54 yards. But this is the game for Xavier Worthy to showcase his speed. This is the game for Xavier Worthy to showcase his big playmaking ability in this against this Houston secondary. Oh, by the way, who's been playing outstanding lockdown football. But Xavier Worthy, if you look at how he finished the season, Hakeem, we started to see that relationship become a real prominent thing in their offense with Pat Mahomes trusting Xavier Worthy, giving him the targets, and Xavier Worthy coming down in the clutch with those receptions. I think they show up big time, not to mention in terms of big play making ability. We know he has the speed to do it. He will put that on display this weekend against the Houston Texans. At the bare minimum, I repeat, 200 yards receiving is my bold statement for Xavier Worthy.
That's bold, Worthy. He's never had more than 80 yards receiving in a game in his rookie season. So to get to 200, that's pretty bold. Speaking of rookies, Jaden Daniels leading the Commanders into Detroit to face the top seed in the NFC. Sonic and Knuckles are back for the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs gets his running mate back in David Montgomery. B-Mac, what do you have for us in this game?
For fans who love points, for fans who love back and forths, affairs in ball games, this is the statement for you. I think the total right now, Hakeem, is set, I think it's 50 or 52, depending on where you're shopping. But don't worry about that.
55 and a half. Yep.
Don't worry about that, Hakeem. Don't worry about that. My bold statement for the Commanders and the Lions is both teams will combine for at least 75 points That's my bold statement.
Wow.
And here's why. You talk about one of the more explosive, consistent offenses in the National Football League. That is the Detroit Lions. They're going to go back and forth. You talk about having David Montgomery in the lineup along with Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo Williams. They have so many different playmakers they can get the football to and put points on the scoreboard, along with one of the best play callers in Ben Johnson. But when you look at the Commanders, they got a playmaker as well. They got a playmaker at the quarterback position, and he's shown the ability to be able to put points on the scoreboard. So when you look at this game, I understand you look at the defenses, especially with the Detroit Lions. They've been doing a really, really good job. But they've been in a few shootouts throughout this season. Remember what happened when Josh Allen came to town?
Yep.
They had no answer for them, but they had to continue to score to keep pace. I see the same things potentially happening in this ball game. Bold statement for the Lions and the Commanders. Both offenses will combine for at least, Hakeem, 75 points.
I like it.
Take the over.
I like it because, yeah, the total's 55.5. Maybe take an alt line over, and then you can really juice it up and get yourself some nice value there because BMAC says they're going to go for at least 75. First game on Sundays in Philadelphia where the Eagles welcome the Rams to the Sideline Book Club. Read a book or read your playbook. Your choice. A.J. Brown perusing inner excellence on the sideline during the Eagles wildcard game against the Packers. BMAC, who's going to have inner excellence on Sunday in Philly?
Well, inner excellence is coming from the team that's out west. It's the Rams. My bold statement for the Rams versus the Eagles is the Rams will win this ball game.
Boom.
The Rams will go into Philly regardless of the temperatures, regardless of the conditions. They will come out with a big W. That's my bold statement. And when you look at the Rams, I understand they're playing some really, really good football. The young studs on their defense that have really been balling. But Hakeem, remember, this is a rematch. They had no answer for Saquon Barkley the first time out in Los Angeles. They had no answer for A.J. Brown. Philly did whatever they needed to do, especially on the defensive side as well. But we will see the total opposite happen in Philly. And man, I'm sorry, Philly fans. This is a bold statement. I got to go bold or go home. This is my bold statement. Matthew Stafford will walk into Philly smiling, and he will leave smiling. They will come out with a win.
Rams lost by 17 in that game in the regular season. This time, they're 6.5-point underdogs, plus 220 on the money line. And according to BMAC, the dogs will be barking. Will the dogs be barking in Buffalo for the game of the weekend? Josh Allen and the Bills, slight dogs against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Top two MVP candidates clashing for a spot in the AFC title game. Ravens hammered the Bills in week 4. I'm not sure how you stop 22. I don't have an answer for that. I really don't understand how you wrap him up. And look, that's going to be part of the matchup. That's going to be part of the key for this game in terms of Buffalo trying to win it. But for your perspective here, what's your bold statement for this game?
Well, talking about this matchup, it's all about the stars at the quarterback position. MVP 1 and MVP 2 in terms of the voting, right? But my bold statement for this matchup with the Ravens and the Buffalo Bills, both offenses will combine for 0 touchdowns.
Say what?
All field goals. Yes, this is the last one. I needed to go bold or go home. I'm not going home. I got to give you a bold statement. This is my bold statement. Buffalo, Baltimore, offensively, Lamar, Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, James Cook, Amari Cooper, Mark Andrews. Yes, they're going to combine for a grand whopping 0 touchdowns, all field goals. Baz, Tucker, get ready. Your leg needs to be warmed up. Even though it's going to be cold outside, you're going to have to provide the points. And the reason why I'm going that direction, no question, Hakeem, that's extremely bold. But, you know, when you get prepared to watch a highlighted offense with a bunch of stars, usually you expect to see points. But sometimes in the game of football, it doesn't always play out that way. It doesn't always work that way. Not to mention the conditions in Buffalo. It might not be ideal to see a back and forth affair, right? It might give either defense an upper hand. So you needed me to go bold, right?
Yeah.
That's my bold statement.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, all field goals in this matchup with the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills.
I think that's a little bit more than bold. It feels like a little bit ridiculous. Because don't be surprised when Baltimore goes down and scores on its first possession, and then everybody's going, I told you. I told you.
And I know.
Because you want to look, there are no odds. By the way, we looked this up. There are no odds for no offensive touchdowns. Why not? Because there's no chance.
There's no chance. But we must remind ourselves, Baltimore, yes, they early in the year, remember they played Pittsburgh. They did score 1 touchdown, but Pittsburgh kicked all field goals. So they've been in a little, a low-scoring affair before. So no question, that likelihood of that happening is not likely. But fans, viewers, bold statement, right? I needed to go bold. And for our last one, every game is a premier game this weekend. But it's something about this matchup, it feels a little different. You know what? Maybe because it's on CBS, right? Maybe that's the
I like that you're having some fun. I like that you're playing along, too. Yeah. I like it. I appreciate that. You're a professional. Bryant McFadden, the 2-time Super Bowl champ here on CBS Sports HQ. Start your day and end your day with CBS and CBS Sports HQ. Ravens and Bills, 6:30 Eastern on America's most watched network, the network of stars. And we'll have wall-to-wall coverage for every playoff game right here on HQ.